Only 1 in 16,000 athletes will ever get a professional career in sports. And that means that more than 99% of athletes never make it. Multiple athletes that I have worked with have made it to the pros. My own triathlon career with a top 5 in a world championships, multiple soccer and handball players taken to professional contracts, 200-meter sprinters taken to national team titles, and a BMX rider taken to a full-time contract with Red Bull and becoming the under-23 world champion. So I feel really confident that I can talk to you about the points that can make you go from recreational to elite, and from elite to professional, from professional to world championship and beyond. Or simply just get you in so good shape that your mates are going to start to ask you about training advice. Hi, my name is Nick and I work as an elite performance specialist for elite teams and world-class athletes. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 powerful steps that you can start using today to beat 99% of athletes. I'm also going to show you the one thing that makes the biggest difference that most people seem to ignore. And then I'm going to give you a template that you can start using today that I use with world-class athletes to reach their highest potential. So let's get to the first powerful step that make any athlete I've worked with progress insanely fast if they do it right. To really understand the step, you need to know about an athlete I've worked with a couple of years ago. You see, no one saw him as a unique talent. In fact, his coach didn't seem to believe that he would make it anywhere, least of all in the international elite. But he had one thing going for him. You see, he was a master of self-experimentation. He would write down every exercise he did, and then he would track his progress. So when he did a certain type of workout, then what happened next at his competitions. Then slowly he started to develop his own workout protocol based on what worked for him in the past. And then he started to get better, a lot better. In my 3rd year working with him, he set 3 national records and got selected for the World Championships. But the question is, how can you do the same? If you want to get ahead of the competition, you need to figure out when and where you are an outlier. The science is just the starting point. Research papers are based upon experiments with a select few people. However, the conclusions is often based upon the averages of those people. That means that there can be outliers that do not respond to that type of training. The best way to do this that I have found is to become a master at self-experimentation and evaluation. The key is you have to measure it. And if you have done something over a 3-month period and you haven't gotten significantly better, then you need to change something. Even if you only find a 1% improvement at every practice, over time you will be so far ahead that your competitors will never catch up. But this step won't work to its fullest potential unless you combine it with the next step that I'm about to show you. That is the main reason that the athletes I work with never stagnate. In 2015, I was lucky enough to win my first age group European Championship in Switzerland. After I crossed the finish line, I got a call from my trainer, and the first thing he said to me was this:
"Why did you run so slow?"
Now, for many athletes, this would have been weird. I mean, I just won the European Championships. But this was the exact reason that I went on to win it again in 2017 and then went on to do multiple top 10s at the World Championships. And it's because of something called achievement goal theory. You see, we never worked with results that we could not control. We only worked with task-related goals. The mastery of the task itself became the goal. If you want to beat 99% of people, then stop looking at the result and start focusing on mastery and improvement. And if you combine it with this next step, you'll be unstoppable and you'll 10x your chances of becoming a world-class athlete. 2 young athletes started coming to my training sessions, both with the goal of becoming a professional athlete. The first athlete was eager to impress the coaches, so he would skip the most challenging part of training in the days before a big match. The other athlete would always give 110%, even though it was the day before an important match. Over the next year, the first athlete got many victories and the coaches saw him as a rising star. The other athlete got some victories, but not nearly as much as the first one. However, one day, the hardworking athlete began to catch up, and then he got better than the first athlete. Frustrated with this, the first athlete started working harder, but it was too late. The first athlete became a high school champion, but then he experienced injuries and burnout. The second athlete that had focused on personal growth and not winning right away went on to become a professional athlete in the senior elite. He knew that if every week he had one more quality practice than everyone else, then in 1 year that would be 52. And in 4 years, there would be more than 200 extra quality practices over his competitors. Be like the second athlete. So, how do you beat 99% of athletes? 1. Adopt the explorer's mindset. 2. Use achievement goal theory. 3. Use the compound interest effect. But there's still one major issue, and I'm afraid that without it, you'll never reach your true potential. And it's this. Even though you just learned this powerful system to enhance your performance, if you don't know where to start to actually lose fat and build muscle, then you'll never reach your true genetic potential. So to make sure you're equipped to take advantage of all the things I just taught you, you can watch this video right here, where I'll show you the #1 exercise we use with world-class athletes to burn belly fat fast.